Hello, good morning, and welcome back to another edition of the Good, the Bad, the Ugly, the Juice Review Show, brought to you by the Department of Inhaled Vapours. Now, the company I want to show you today is Tmax Juices, who have just released their brand new one in short fill form, and the whole range in short fill form, but this is one I'll be mainly concentrating on today. Cold Brew. Have got to state for the record, any views or opinions you hear during this review are mine and mine alone. I've not been paid to do this review. I did not pay for the product. The product was very kindly sent to me by Tmax Juices for review purposes. Also got to state, individual setups, power levels, and of course builds will alter what you get from a juice. I can only tell you what I'm getting myself. My weapon of choice today will be the G-Proof 2, and that's got the AIM-09 dripper from Asvape, dual cooled to 0.29. All juices, the juices here today will be an 80-20 VG-PG blend, and it will be at 3 milligrams. Right, on to the labels, safety features, and all the gibbons that we normally go through. Straight off the bat, yes, child-proof lid on a short fill, as it should be, because you're adding nicotine to the product. This will also come with a tamper ring, as always, as I always state. If that tamper ring is damaged or broken in any way when you purchase this, demand another bottle. We all like to know that nothing's been put in here, should that be the case. Labels. Labels, I've got to admit, I do like the labels. Actually, I do like the labels a lot. It's a very mature, very classic, classy, old school, old-fashioned feel to them. We've got all the information on the front here. It's a high VG. It's a zero nick, as we can see at that point there. Zero there. And the information on the back is very good, especially if you're not overly familiar with the short fill market. There's a lot of information on the back to tell you. It gives you the guidelines step by step of how to actually do this. And it uses a method that I've started to see a few other companies use now, and it works and it doesn't work. I'll explain why. I'll just take you through what it says on this one, and then I'll explain why it does and it kind of ish doesn't. Right, this product must be diluted before vaping. Unscrew. Now that's something. There's a lot of companies. There's a few. Well, I say a lot. Yeah, there is actually. There's quite a few companies out there that are selling the undiluted, and I can quite happily vape them, even though they should. That should be over strengthed. What you're getting here, like I say, that this is a 60ml bottle, and there's 50ml of concentrate in here. So I've got to dilute that a sixth. I've got to put 10 more mil in there. So then that should be the right strength. So vaping that without that in there, that should be over concentrated, and I really shouldn't be able to vape that because that'd be over concentrated, too much flavouring going on in there. I found with quite a few that I could actually quite happily vape them without actually diluting them, which says to me that if I then diluted that, would that make that too weak? It's something that has really got to come together in the short fill community. That yeah, you do get some, and by the time you diluted them, they're a bit weak. It's kind of like they've already put in enough concentrates if you were making 50ml, which then makes it a zero. So yeah, there's something that needs to be a little bit more universal between a lot of the short fill market. It's either that, or you get the moment where they put too much in, and you go, and that's after you diluted it, and you go, oh, actually, I'll pour 10ml out and pour another 10ml of VG in there just to make that a bit more bearable. Some of them need to just keep an eye on their recipes a little bit. Anyway, this product must be diluted for vaping. Unscrew tip to reveal the fill hole. And like I said, this is what a lot of companies are doing now. On top here, you got your nozzle, and now this just draw it off. Unscrews out. So there you go. So you've unscrewed the nozzle part, and you're left with that. Now that is where you'll be topping up from. That is where you will be putting your either your VG, PG bottle or your Nick shot to fill that bottle up. Now on paper, that's a great idea. It really is a good idea. And then obviously once you've done that, you just screw your nozzle back on. Saves having to try to prise it up and watching people throwing 60 ml of juice everywhere when they finally ping it and it goes like that. It does save a lot of hassle and it does save a lot of mess and all this other gunk. Now, this works on the snake oil because it comes in two formats. You'll get the high VG one, which will make an 80-20 finished product. But you can also buy the original recipe. Now, the original recipe for snake oil, this in here will be a 50-50. By the time you've added everything, it will give you a 60-40. And this has actually been labelled properly, unlike another product that I did not so long ago. So, which is good. But 50-50, 50% PG and 50% VG will go in this bit really, really easily because it's slightly more watery because you've got 50% PG in it. Now on these ones, on the high ones, you're trying to squeeze in 100% VG nick shot down that little hole, it becomes a battle because it's so thick. It's so thick, it's so gloopy, and you're trying to squeeze it for a really small nozzle. And it did take me quite a while just to actually empty the bottle into the actual main bottle. So yes, on the slightly more watery stuff, it works better. On the high VG, we need a bigger hole. It's got to that point. We need a bigger hole, or we need this whole top bit to be the screw. So this bit here will be attached to the nozzle part. So when you screw it, that whole top bit comes up, and then you can just pour the high VG stuff into the bottle. It would save a lot of hurt fingers and time, basically. But the idea is there, and it does, like I say, on the more watery stuff, it does work really well. It's just quick. Put your nozzle back on, give it a shake, and there we go. I do like the fact it gives you instructions here for how to make, on the high VG stuff, how to make it for 0 nick, how to make it for 3 milligrams. Like for 0, just add the plain unflavoured base that they give you. Or for 3 mil, add 1 nick shot. And it tells you what you've got to put in there. Steeping, shake thoroughly before vaping. Final solution will be a 20% PG, 80% VG. The flavours will develop further over 7 to 10 days. It's another thing that some people don't realise with short fills. Yeah, you've added the nick, you're giving it a shake to distribute it throughout the liquid. To get it to properly, fully bond with the juice and the flavours and let them mature and come back again, because obviously it needs a little time. It needs a time for that nicotine shot to fully bond in. And they're recommending 7 to 10 days. I mean, you can vape this straight away. I mean, I've done this about 5 days ago, so it's had a bit of a steep as well. Keeping a cool environment away from sunlight with the cap in place. And then we've got just a little warnings and instructions. Only for use in electronic cigarettes. This product is intended for purchase and use by adults of a legal age. It's got to be on there. Harmful to aquatic life. Oh dear, excuse me. Keep out the reach of children. Avoid release to the environment. If on skin, wash your plate in soap water. Dispense the contents in accordance with your national regulations. And then you'll have a little bit down here, which is not going to focus. Well, there's 3 little dots there. So, well, on this one, obviously, because it's a high VG, there's only 2. We'll even tick off so you know what you've made in this bottle. Got the batch number, best before date on here. They're given a year. And then you've got the ingredients, barcode, and their physical and phone number at the bottom. So if there is any problems, you can get in contact with them. But what does it vape like? Let's have a little go. One thing that did worry me when I first got this is the colour of the juice. Now, I mean, it is a coffee blend, and they're normally notoriously dark, but you do always go, what the wicks could look like. Well, I have a little goose on this throughout the week, and to be fair, it doesn't leave the wicks and the coils in too bad a state, to be honest. I was very worried there's going to be a lot of staining and all this lot. It's not too bad. It really isn't. Right, well, I'm going to start at 47.1, which is 3.7 volts. Here we go. Right, straight off the bat, there's a little bit of throat hit. I will get on to why. A really nice, quite dark roasted coffee flavour to start off with. And then just as you come to the tail end of that inhale, you start noticing you're getting like a cool effect in the throat. So it's going on, I'm assuming there's a little bit of Coolard going on in here as well. And then the exhale, you kind of get this slightly milky, creamy nuts going on. Like hazelnut. So basically we've got an iced nutty coffee flavour. And it works really well. The Coolard has not been overdone. It's just enough to give you a slight cold effect. The bitter coffee at the beginning goes nicely with that cold effect as well to give that iced. But then to get that creamy, it's more milky. But there's a hint of creaminess to it. Blended in with the nuts on the exhale. Does give a really nice sensation in the mouth. That's rather quite pleasant. It's another after dinner vape. Nothing's overdone, nothing's really competing with it. You haven't got an overly bitter coffee, you haven't got an overly strong Coolada. Nothing's fighting for anyone's attention at the moment, but it is slightly separated out. I've got a feeling going higher up, that might come together a little bit better. It's just basically a dark roast coffee, iced coffee, with a nice creamy nut finish. I'll have a little top up, and then I shall go up the power range. It's nice, I can't admit. It's a long-lasting flavour. It does last. That nuts and coffee do stay in the mouth for a long while. Right, I'm going to go up to 54.4. Or 4 volts. There we go. Oh, wow. Cloud production on point, but it should be from 80/20 anyway. Wow, this turns into a beast. Full-on coffee flavour. But it's gone down to more like a medium roast now because that milky cream has come in with it. Cool effect is a little bit stronger. And the nuts, you still get the nuts at the end. But that just flows over this milky iced coffee taste that you've got in your mouth. That's rather special. I know there's a lot, there's a lot of botched attempts at coffee on the market, but there's some really good ones as well, and I'll be more than happy to put this into the ranks of the really, really good ones. Anyone who's had the pleasure of trying the Coffee Cafe barrel range from Refuge Vapors in the States, yeah, I rate this just as good as that, but for different reasons. You can taste the time and effort that's been put into it. This hasn't just been knocked out and shoved on the market like a lot are at the moment. That's really, really nice. So that hazelnut finish is superb. I just want a coffee now. It's like going alcohol free and you go, oh, I really could do a proper beer now. Mm. Oh, that's nice. Oh. I'm going to go up again. I'm going to go up to about 61. No, I'm actually going to do. I'm going to do 60. That'll be 4.2 volts. Like I was saying, it really is a lasting flavour. Definitely an after dinner job. You have a big meal and you think, oh, and just have that instead of having the coffee. Higher up, the milk cream effect kind of takes over. It kind of makes like you put a bit too much cream in your coffee. You still get that back note of the coffee. The nuts comes in at the front as well now. It's kind of everything hits at the same time, but the milk has gone you've just splashed a bit too much milk into it because it does weaken down the coffee. So it's kind of a cold cereal with a hint of coffee. Actually, no. Actually, I'll take that back. Higher up, I'll do a second go on that. The coffee came through a bit stronger on that one. It actually kind of, with that creaminess, it kind of tastes like a coffee ice cream with a sprinkling of nuts. That's bizarre. It's just how the cream in this loves the power. The higher up you go, the kind of the creamier the milky element of it gets. And it kind of gives the sensation of a coffee ice cream. A nutty coffee ice cream. Mmm. Actually, that's really good. I'll totally take back what I originally said then. Oh. That's outstanding. Yeah, fans of coffee, definitely give this one a go. It's a surprise. It's a surprise. It's been very, very well done. There's been a lot of care and attention been put into this. I think there's been a lot of care, attention, and love that's been put into this juice. Low down, slight separation of the flavours, but it's still good. But say you get coffee and that cooling effect, so it's like iced coffee going in and this creamy, this slightly milky, creamy nut finish. Around about the 4, the milk comes in with the coffee, mellows that down a little bit, but you're still getting that lovely nutty finish. And higher up, it actually just turns into more of an ice cream because the coolant effect as well. The milk goes more creamy. And that little edge of coffee running through it as well. That's really outstanding. If you're a fan of coffee, give that one a go. That is Cold Brew from Tmax Juices, Dr. Stanley Clark's Cold Brew. Subtly surprised with that. That's really, really nice. And that brings us into another review. If you have enjoyed what you've watched today, please like, share, comment, and of course subscribe to the channel. Next week I will be at Expo. Hopefully good to get some live videos going. We'll get loads of pictures up as I normally do. I'll splatter them all through the groups in Facebook. If you do see me at Expo, come over, give us a shout, give us a say hello. It's always nice to chat to you guys and just have a fun time. So on behalf of myself, Darren Stone, head of the Department of Held Vapors, I bid you all a very good day and I hope to see you soon. And I hope to see you next week. Take care, guys.